7. Okay. Okay, this one diagram is quite important and it is related to uptake of water by roots. Okay, how do plant take water or uptake water from the soil? What is the name of process? Name of process? Transpiration. Huh? Simple osmosis. How do plants take up water from soil? Osmosis. Okay. And through which cells? Again, from soil, from soil. Which cells? Through which cells from the soil? That would be root hair cell. If you're talking about like the direct contact with the soil, the cells which have the direct contact are the root hair cells. Okay, what are the general characteristics of the root hair cells? Okay, so this is of 3 mark. Consider it of 3 mark. Okay, okay. No, no, no. So there are three characteristics. So the question would be of 3 mark. Okay, number one, they are long extensions. Okay, so they can uptake water from the surrounding areas. Number two, they are thin, so that water can easily enter through the cell. Moreover, they have large surface area to absorb as much water as possible. No, no. So we are talking about the structure of cell. We are not talking about the process. Okay, you have to look at the words or you have to listen to the words that are being asked. The structure of cell. No, no. Structure mean like if I tell you describe your structure, would you say that my structure contains the air that is outside you? No. So that is the technical part. Okay. Okay. So first of all, what okay there are MCQs related to this pathway, that what is the correct pathway of plant entering the sorry, water entering the cell or water entering the plant or water reaching the leaves. There are three main statements that were given in the past papers. Number one, how do they enter the xylem? How do they enter the plant or how do they reach the cell? Okay. So the pathway would be like this. First of all, there would be root hair cells. Okay. From root hair cells, water passes to the cortex cells. Then from cortex cells to xylem cells. And if there is a question related to the leaves, then we would say from xylem they would move into the leaves or they would move into the air spaces. Okay. So this is the pathway that is usually asked in MCQs, or it's a 4 mark question that how is water uptake by the roots. Okay, this is specifically for roots. Okay, so water enters the root hair cell by a process called as osmosis. Then it moves to the cells of the cortex. Then they move to the xylem tissue, which takes it to the leaf. Okay, okay. The next one is now this is the first movement by which water is transported. Second one movement is now how they transported up the xylem. Okay, there are two movements when they move up the xylem. One is called as the cohesive force, the other thing is called as uh, the adhesive one. So there is adhesion and there is cohesion. Now, what is this? Simple water molecules are connected to each other. So this is cohesion. Co mean the water molecules are cooperating. They are like they are moving with each other. If one molecule pulls up, the other also does. Okay, cohesion. Yes. In adhesion, the water molecules attach to the xylem vessels or they have some kind of bonding with xylem vessel. Okay. This is. means hydrogen bonding, na? Xylem and water, and cohesive or cohesion is between water molecules. Okay? Okay. Uh, I guess you might have discussed this in chemistry that water molecules are attached to each other through hydrogen bonding. So when the one molecule move up, the other also move up. Okay? Now why do they move up? They move up with the third force, which is quite important, which is transpiration. So there are three basic movement, or you can say three basic processes by which the water reaches the xylem vessel. One is through root, number two when it passes through the xylem, and number three when transpiration occurs in the leaf. Okay? Okay, now how do we define transpiration? Transpiration is the evaporation of water through the stomata, specifically stomata. Okay, evaporation of water molecules or water vapors, you can also write water vapors, from stomata of the leaf. Okay, okay. I'm giving you one diagram more. One diagram. This is how the water moves, because you need to learn this diagram, and I'll share notes for this one. Okay, so this is simple. First of all, yes. Hmm. 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 Yes, yes. The transpiration is actually pulling them up. Or you can say they're just like beads, beads that are connected to each other. If you pull out one bead, the other beads are also moving out, pulled out. Okay. Okay. Now, how do we use this diagram? This diagram is simply showing you the movement of water molecule from xylem. It moves into the mesophyll cells, and from mesophyll cells, it move into the air spaces from where it gets evaporated through the stomata. Yes. Then air spaces, then stoma. So it would be like this: xylem, mesophyll. Yes, because air spaces are present in spongy mesophyll, and then stoma. Okay. Okay. Now, let's talk about the transpiration. Simple. We have learned what is transpiration. There is no need to go into the detail. It's a simple process. Uh, okay. There may be one diagram related to transpiration, because this diagram. Okay, let me give you this diagram. Wait. This process is explaining how the water is pulled up. It's called as transpiration stream. Stream mean the flow of water through transpiration. Okay. First of all, root hair cells, they just take up the water, and through xylem they move up the leaf, and then water is lost from the leaf by transpiration. It's a complete process. So there are basically three movements that you need to learn while describing how water is uptaken. Okay. Now let me ask you one question. We have said this, that water moves up by cohesion, water is uptaken by the root by osmosis, and now water is evaporated through transpiration. Okay, what is transpiration? Is it osmosis, or what type of movement? What type of movement is transpiration? Uh, what type of movement? There are three movements you have learned: diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. What type of movement is water evaporation? Is there any membrane in the stoma? Is there any membrane in the stoma? No, no, there is no membrane. It's an open space, so it would diffuse out. Yes. Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Wait, 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 wait. When we talk about the movement across the membrane, then it would be osmosis. This is not across the membrane. Okay? So there are like little things that we need to keep in mind. Now it's not a water molecule, it's a water vapor, it's a gas. So gas diffuses. Okay? Um, Let me give you one more thing. How do we? Okay, I'm giving you one more like paragraph thing. Okay, this is related to transpiration of polar and the movement. Clear? Okay, I'll give you these notes. Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about the vessel which actually transported it. The vessel is xylem. What are the adaptations of xylem? Adaptations mean what is special in their structure that make them ideal for carrying out this function. Number one, okay, okay, yes, you can answer. Okay, good. What else? They are dead cells. They are dead cells. That's why they don't take up water when water passes through them. If they are living, it means they are not going to move it up. Okay, it's going to absorb water if these are living cells. So these are non-living cells, so that water can easily move up it. Okay, then you have told one more thing. There is a continuous column for continuous flow of water. Okay, what about the movement of water? Is it in one direction or in like bidirectional, unidirectional or bidirectional? Yes, it's unidirectional. Okay, it moves from roots to plants or to leaves, not from leaves to roots at all. Yes, it's a no. It moves from only roots to leaves. It's a one-way pathway. Yes, it's a one-way flow. Okay. Okay, let's compare it with phloem because our next topic is translocation. I have a few more things about the transpiration which we will discuss later. Let's move to okay. We will discuss first those because this one is the like lengthier topic. Let's not discuss this. Okay, there are certain factors which affect the rate of transpiration. Number one is Number one is temperature. What about temperature? If the temperature increases, what is the effect on the transpiration? What do you think so? Okay, and why? Okay, good. So they get evaporated more. Okay. Second factor is wind. How about wind? We have done one question related to wind yesterday, right? There was a graph given related to potometer. We discussed that, right? So, what will happen if there is more wind? The rate of transpiration will increase. Okay. Okay, what about humidity? Why? Outside. Okay, good. Okay, you need to learn their what do we say? The graphs. Those are really important because these come in the options like in the multiple choice question. So we need to learn these graphs. If time is given instead of the rate of transpiration, then this would be opposite. If instead of this rate, time is given, okay, then it would be opposite, right? Okay, we have done same question yesterday that if instead of rate, time is given, then the graph would be exact opposite. Like I'm making it for time. It would be like this, right? Oh, it moves down. Okay, this is for time. Lesser time would be taken, huh? So time would decrease. So humidity, the time would be more. This would be about time. Air movement, it would be like this, lesser time. The red one, the red lines represent the time. Huh, that would be lesser. Lesser time would be taken for transpiration. Yes. If there is more humidity, it means it takes more time to evaporate. Okay? Okay. So these are the four factors. Now let's discuss phloem because we still have time. Okay. Phloem, what is the structure of phloem? Let's talk about the structure. The very first thing is they are living cells and they have companion cells. Why do they have companion cells? These phloem vessels. They need lots of, yes, yes. So they need lots of energy. What else? Okay, they need more mitochondria. Okay. How about their, like we have said, their hollow vessels, xylem. What about these? Yes. Okay. They are they are perforated. Perforated means or sieve. They have sieve plates. Let me write sieve plates. Sieve plates mean like there is a layer in between two. Let me show you the diagram. Wait. There is a layer in between two which has pores. Sieve is just like a strainer that we use at home. Okay. Okay. This is how the xylem vessel look like. Sieve tubes. Perforated end walls and sieve tubes. These are called as sieve plates. Okay. Then the third thing is the direction is bidirectional. It is bidirectional. The food travels in both ways. Two-way flow. Okay. They need cells for energy because sometimes the food is carried through the active transport. Yes. Uh, it hasn't been observed. Translocation is a topic which is very rare in the past paper. Yes, it's a very rare topic. Yes, so the movement of phloem is actually translocation. Translocation is the movement of food through phloem. Okay. Okay. So in translocation, there is one theory called as the mass flow hypothesis. How is food transported? So there are two like things that you need to remember. Uh, Sorry. Yes. 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 So there is source and then there is sink. What is source and what is sink? Hmm. Where it deposits. Simple. Okay. Now the very common question that is actually came in the previous year is in one season one part of the plant act as a sink. In the next season, that very same part or sink act as a source. How? This is the question that was like part of the previous. Okay, the part of the plant is sink in the first season. Okay, for example, in summers it's a sink, but in winter it act as a source. How do you prove this point? And why would this happen? Like onions or like potatoes. Potatoes are actually sink, but they are used as source as well. How? Exactly. Which helps the plant to germinate. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's go to the mass flow hypothesis. Okay, it's a simple thing. It's very simple. You just need to remember 3 4 points. Though I told student that there are many points, but let's make it simple for you. Mass flow hypothesis. Number one, in leaf, food is made in the form of glucose, okay, and it moves into the phloem and converted there in the form of sucrose, in the form called sucrose. In though leaves make glucose, but when food moves into the phloem, it should be in the form of sucrose. Okay. Number second step. Now, because it's a very solid thing, it cannot travel down or up by itself. It needs water. Yes. They would simple ask that how the food is translocated or how the food is transported. Yes. This is basically the loading of food and the uh, getting rid of food. Okay. Now, how food is loaded, we are talking about that. Okay. Again, I'm explaining when sucrose move into this, the solute increases. Okay. Due to which water from phloem enters, sorry, water from xylem enters the phloem. It's just like from higher water potential to lower water potential. Okay. Um, hmm. Hmm. Yes. Into the phloem because of the osmosis. Okay. Because there is more solute now, lesser water here. So water will move here. Now it will move the food towards the sink. Okay. Now in the third step. Okay. Hmm. No. Sink is any part that store food, like root, fruit, stem, anything that store food. Even leaves, if leaves are storing food, they are sink. Source is always leaf. Source is always leaf. Okay. Not always. Like we have discussed that in one season when we grow potato, then potato is a source. But in a photosynthesizing plant, we say leaves are the source. Okay. Okay. Now the food is, what do we say? Unloaded over here into the sink. Food unloaded. And they are converted into starch. Food is stored as starch. Okay. Now, because the food is unloaded, water move back to xylem. Sorry, move back to xylem. Okay. Clear. Okay. Uh, so So this is all about this chapter. Okay. So you need to just revise it, go through the book. I'll share these notes as well with you. Okay. Go through the chapter because there are other things as well in this chapter that you need to